This video, through our Lady, through our Lord, we prevail. Now, you have to be careful if you are rated 60 or above, or actually some situations, multiple issues, 40 and above, because you qualify for TDIU, which is temporary TEIU. Anyway, I forget the darn acronym. Oh yeah, my CPAP is not working anymore, and then pain and stress can make me lose even more sleep. So I'll make grammatical mistakes, or seems to be the past couple months acronyms, but which are really linguistic feats. To find the right words that would, when the initials are put together, the first initial of the first letter of the words would connotate some kind of thought or mission or imagery. They kind of are linguistic feats. But anyway, you may qualify for, basically it's the rating 100% pay because of unemployability. Because you have so many issues, or you have issues that are so bad that they just cause problems, with having a normal job. It's not to say that you can't start a business or something, but even then you'd have a very limited situations where you could do something, very limited. Um, for example, if you have asthma and and you normally work sedentary work, if you're working in an office, you can't control the flow of air. And if the vents are cleaned, I've always had a problem with the radiology ward at what used to be St. Mary's. We missed you, sisters. We missed them. It's a very different organization now, my Michigan. But when I go in their radiology ward, the MRIs, they don't clean the vents there. People think, oh, we clean the main filter for the HVAC machine. They don't consider the vents. And you look up from the MRI, you can see dust all over the vent. And the lady said, "Oh, it was just cleaned." I don't like going there anymore because I know they're lying. And they also lied to the VA and said, "Oh, we turned on oxygen for him his last MRI." They lied. I felt that with my hands and with my nose, nothing was coming out. They say, "Oh, you can't feel 2 liters." Yes, you can. They lied. They lied on official government documents and in emails to the provider. That's a felony. But anyway, so if you have 70% or above and your issues make it difficult to be employed, you qualify for full comp. If you have more than one issue, and one of them is 40% or more, again, you qualify for full comp. That'll trigger a process rating you for employability. And generally it's open and shut, really. But I know now why my overall disability rating of 60%, they won't post it because it qualifies for TDIU, or whatever the acronym is. It qualifies me for full comp because of unemployability. Which, yeah, there's only a few things I could do now because so many issues. Part of it is the VA because they just sit on stuff, or to target me, they'll do the unable to contact letters again and again, knowing that somebody's targeting my family, so our phone always gets knocked off the tower. And right now they're bottlenecking our internet because of the other 2 videos I posted last night. Our internet has been bottling ever since, I would say, around 9 or 10 o'clock last night. And I posted those videos, I think it was around 6, 7, or 8. So they immediately retaliated. Because it's apparent that some of the staff at the past couple of places we've lived, the place we live now, I saw the office workers joking around with the people who assaulted me, their friends. I saw when we were driving through the parking lot. I know what I saw. And that was not a professional relationship. But anyway, this video isn't about that. So you have to be careful because somebody may try to cause a hiccup, in that. And the thing is that I'm just getting started, I know not all of my health issues are because of service, but I know many of them are. It doesn't matter if I spent 1 year there in the desert as military and another 4 as civilian. The point is, I spent a year there in the military. That started all of this. Then I came back for another 4 years as a contractor. I don't regret serving my country, but yet every veteran who is exposed to something, or who is in a firefight, or who takes shrapnel, or who has a concussive injury, or who takes a bullet, they deserve to be taken care of and paid for their loss. The loss to their family. Because they're not 100% of what they used to be. They're 100% in a different way. And in a more restricted, but still, we give all. So that explains what's going on, because I keep calling, and once again I get the call center with all the same people. Why nothing is posted. And besides being shortchanged, I can't remember if it was 18 months or 24 months that my claims were set for. But I ran the numbers, 60% one, 10% another. And like I said, I'm just getting started. And then another one that's 0%, because I don't have 2 or more sinusitis events that are hospitalized. Some years I only have 1. Other years I have 2, but evidently it's not enough anyway. But I went back 10 years, almost every single year, at least once or twice, I go to an ER because of sinusitis infections and swelling and sinus pain and coughing. I went back 10 years. This is a chronic problem. But evidently, good faith for the veteran doesn't apply. Considering, some years, yeah, I don't have 2, but going back 10 years, except for 1 or 2 years there, this is something that happens every single year. And also, some years I didn't go to the ER because I was overseas, and it doesn't matter if I was in Kuwait or if I was in the Philippines or somewhere else. Some of the places I go are rural, so you use Chinese or Filipino medicine, traditional medicine, because the hospital's too far away. But, yeah, so now I know why they refuse to post the 60%, even though the letter from the raider has been sitting there. They denied the knee problems. They said there's no new evidence. I don't know what they're talking about. But, they did get new evidence from military service. But apparently it's not enough. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Now I know why they're sitting on everything. And if you consider how I was shortchanged with my rating, rated at 20%, and then 2 months later hitting 60. I mean, technically 70, but 60. Um, yeah, I was shortchanged out of a lot of money. I can't remember if it was 16 months or 18 months, but it varies from 68,000 to 94,000. Yeah, and if you consider, actually, I take that back. It was never 30,000 I was shorted out of because of readability and employability. Yeah, I've been shortchanged out of either 64,000 or $94,000. Yeah, so if you're in that situation, I think it's time to get a lawyer. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe it's time to get an attorney because they're keeping us imprisoned here by doing this stuff to us. And if they're spoofing us with a spoofing VA, and the police department knows about it, then if this is a big spoof and the police department is involved in it, then the FBI needs to come to Buena Vista Township because local hackers and criminals are simulating veterans. That's a felony. And if that includes police officers using stingrays for this stuff, because there's a couple of apartments where I live now, police come all the time. Sergeants, they come here all the time. And if the police are involved in this too, the AG or the FBI needs to send, UCs here to figure out what's going on. If this is one big spoof, it's a heck of a spoof. But the things that they are doing to veterans in this county absolutely makes you want to vomit. The devil reigns here, even when people go into their church, some of the people walk out of their church, they go right back to being evil again. It is a kind of end times. I'm not saying that Jesus is coming, but I'm saying this is a kind of end times because evil has so much power. And you can't blame the administration. It's been like this as long as we've been here, which is, we've been through one Republican and one Democratic administration. It's a spiritual battle. And, yeah, there's only a remnant here that are praying against it. And it seems that they're all being targeted, especially if they're veterans.